What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I want to talk about Dragon Ball Super story development because I feel like that's something that's very important and should be brought up. And I've noticed a couple things in the community overall. So what I noticed in my time as being a Dragon Ball fan, there's two kinds of fans. There's the fans that just love the Dragon Ball action, the fights, the epic transformations, like the part that makes Dragon Ball so special. But then you also have the fans that like the overall story that actually tells, the story of Goku, his friends, what they went through from like the days of Dragon Ball all the way through the end of Dragon Ball Z, even if you want to count GT and Super and all that stuff. Like overall story or what makes Dragon Ball, people like that. Now what I noticed is with Dragon Ball Super, one of the biggest complaints so far, on top of it, kind of retelling the story of Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, is a lot of people don't tend to like the story parts of it. And I think that's actually one of the most important parts of Dragon Ball Super, because if it was just action, it wouldn't really make much sense. Now, let's take Battle of Gods and Resurrection F as an example, just because, for the movies, not the sagas, because I think the way both of those movies were executed explains or caters to both of those fans. Battle of Gods creates a new story, creates basically a limitless potential of where Dragon Ball can go next, and also has some pretty great action, whereas Resurrection F is more about, the action rather than telling a story. In fact, the Resurrection F movie left out so much that, we were left asking ourselves questions like, how did Goku and Vegeta become Super Saiyan Blues? How did they start training with Whis? XYZ. Now, the most recent episode of Dragon Ball Super was one of the first that actually started revealing stuff of how, certain things happen. So, for example, we saw how Vegeta got his armor, the one that he wore against Whis, the one that we signed. We saw how he joined Whis and became his pupil, by giving him food and stuff like that. That's important stuff. Like, episode 16, even though there was no action in it, it was very important just because it shows us a different side of Dragon Ball that connects basically where it's going to go next, which is the Resurrection F story. Now, from, people who've been watching so far, what is it that people don't like about the story development aspect of it? Like, are people just impatient? Do you guys just, like, to those specific crowd, do you guys just want to see action only, or what? Like, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it and kind of understand what the community really likes and doesn't like over the whole Dragon Ball world. And then, like, compared to Dragon Ball Z, like, that was also there too. Like, the in-between stuff, the story development was, so present throughout the entire Dragon Ball series that I don't understand why it sounds like a brand new thing to some people. Now, again, I might be wrong. This might be a small crowd, and they always say the smallest people are always the loudest, which make it, sound like there's a lot more people complaining about it. But I guess I want to hear from you guys, who here doesn't like the story development and who here does, and then also why. Like I said, personally with me, I love the fact that we're getting an insight on all these characters from a different way. Because, I mean, we grew up watching, all these characters as being these fierce warriors. Vegeta especially, like, Vegeta has one of the most greatest stories out of anybody. And seeing how his character changes over time, to me, is just awesome. And then seeing him right now stoop down so he can basically get Whis to train him and, like, kind of like give up a bit of his pride so he can, like, pass Goku. That's, like, awesome to me. It's just great to see the actual story part of Dragon Ball, and that's why, I think it's very important. I think it's extremely important, if not as important as the action. And I don't know, something I want to kind of toss out there just because I've noticed it ever since Dragon Ball Super Episode 1 aired, and now that we got Episode 17 airing this weekend, we've seen enough episodes to know that there's been a lot of, I don't want to call it filler episodes, but filler episodes. And what I mean by filler episodes is it's not essentially filler. I'm saying that it's just episodes where it's not really action, but it's more about connecting the episodes together so it makes sense overall. I mean, seeing Goku as a farmer, it explains to us what Goku does outside of fighting people like Kid Buu. Like, what happened after Goku, he became a farmer. Like, that's important stuff. It's also funny, it adds, to the characters, and it really, like, builds on to what the whole Dragon Ball story is. That's why it's important. That's why it's very important, and that's why I wanted to just get together and make this video as a subject. I briefly mentioned this stuff before here and there, but now I wanted to just kind of get together and make it into one topic to see what the community thinks overall. So to those who've been watching Dragon Ball Super so far, what is it that you don't like or do like about the Dragon Ball story part? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I guess we'll just take it from there. Now, again, episode 17 is going to air this weekend, this Sunday, October... Is it? No, actually, I think it might be November. This Sunday, a couple of days, and it's going to reveal a lot of cool things. It's probably going to connect more of what we missed in Resurrection F, so keep an eye out on that. But to those who are waiting for the action, we probably won't see any major fighting until maybe a couple weeks, because that's when the Frieza army is going to arrive, and they'll probably do the same thing that they did in the Resurrection F story. Hopefully a little bit different, but essentially the same idea. So keep an eye out for that. But to those who do care about the story, I want to hear from you guys, and even those who don't care about the story, I want to hear from you guys as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But yeah, anyway, so you guys enjoy the rest of the day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I'll see all you awesome Super Saiyans in the comment section below. Peace.